grab your cup. What's one, if I could sum up one major thing that is going to take you away from having life go the way you want it, from experiencing your life from a place of joy and really having fun and feeling connected, if there's one thing that I had to boil it down to, it would be shame. Holding shame within ourselves about anything is going to separate us from being who we want to be, who you really want to be. How do you really want to show up in your relationship with your significant person, in your other relationships with people in your family, how you are in the world? How would you want to show up in those? The one thing that really stops us is shame. We hold shame, and that really gets taught to us at a very, very early age. Just shame for who we are. If you ever have a thought, I'm not good enough, I'm not lovable, if you ever had the experience when you were a child that my parents didn't give me what I needed, my parents didn't love me enough or the way that I wanted them to love me, or maybe they loved me but they just weren't available, a child will interpret the reason that happened is there's something wrong with me. That's the go-to child interpretation. They don't have the wherewithal to see any other picture, any other possibility. There must be something wrong with me. And that's when shame develops. And then we hold shame throughout the rest of our lives. So every time we let someone do something and we don't speak up, not only do we get frustrated and resentful, but we'll have shame for not being a stand for ourselves, for not speaking up. It'll be there in the background. And that shame will continue throughout every experience. How do you experience shame in your life? I think it's a great idea to notice where you feel it in your body. So for me, I've certainly had all the things I just described, and I've had shame in my life, and I developed shame in my childhood from things that I heard from my parents. If I did something wrong, you feel shameful. If you get embarrassed in a classroom, you feel shameful. But holding the shame is really what so many people do, rather than releasing it and going, I'm not even going to go there. There's no shame in who I am. I do my best. But for me, what I noticed, and as I learned in my own growth and healing from the past, is shame shows up, first of all, in the pit of my stomach. So it might be, I might get a text or see a message from someone, and I haven't even read the text. I haven't even listened to the message. And right away, I would have a thought, they're upset with me. I did something wrong. Or there's something about me that I don't want them to know. So, did they figure it out? So that's the inherent voice of shame in the background. And I would feel that in the pit of my stomach. And then the next place it would go to is right here. Like sometimes it would feel like a flushing or like my throat's gonna close. Where do you feel shame in your body? So if somebody says something to you, if something happens, if there's an event, and you want to get really familiar with the way your body responds and what's actually in the background of what you're thinking. Because when shame is there, it will anchor you to not moving forward. It will keep you in a place that you don't want to be. Shame is the number one thing that blocks us from having a great life, because when we feel shameful about ourselves, we'll continue to not speak up. Like if you set a goal, let's just use this as an example. You set a goal to now start to exercise and you miss a day. There's the, okay, I missed a day, but then underneath that, is there shame? Is there like, see, this is how I do things. See, I never keep up with my goals, or I never stick with it. There's a place where shame will pull you back down. Shame is the lowest emotion when you look at an emotional scale. So every emotion has energy to it and different frequencies. The lower emotions are slower, heavier frequencies. Shame, grief, anger, the better feeling emotions like love and joy, or even peace, courage, peace, love, joy, those frequencies are light and fast. The frequency, the energy, the feeling of it is light in our body. When we're holding shame, our body feels heavy. It's a heavy, dense energy. Shame is the lowest, the densest energy that there is as human beings. And when we look at the frequency of it, it's not much higher than the energy that it takes to decompose a dead body. Do you hear what I'm saying? The energy, so even when someone dies, when a body is dead, there's an energy used to decompose that body. That energy is at a frequency of around 20. Shame is a frequency of 20. People who hold shame about what's happened to them in their life, it might have been something that happened to you 40 years ago, but it's the secret that you hold that you never tell anybody, that you don't want anybody to know because you feel shame about it. Shame exists when in darkness. Shame exists when we keep things covered up. And it keeps us at a frequency not much higher than a dead body decomposing. When I first heard that, I was like, whoa. The person who actually was talking about that like that was like, if you think about it, people who are holding shame are walking around like walking dead people, not living their life, not fully expressing themselves, not allowing themselves to go out and connect and to be vulnerable. It's the shame. Shame is a big thing that we work on when we return to ourself. My program is called Return to You because it's really all about returning to your true essence, being authentic with yourself, and peeling away and getting rid of the misperceptions and the experiences that you've had that have kept you locked in a place of smallness, being upset, and shame, and how that affects your health as well, because a physical body cannot thrive and have energy when we're locked in those past experiences and when we hold shame. So if you'd like to get rid of shame, if you'd like to overcome your past experiences, if you'd like to move forward in a way where you feel vibrant and healthy, I have a masterclass that I would send you for free. I'll send you the replay, and you can just watch and look at, the class is titled Stress and Overwhelm because we get stressed and overwhelmed trying to navigate above that backdrop of shame and where that came from. So put masterclass in the comment. I'll send you the replay and just see how it applies to you, okay? Have a good day.